Welcome to D-Lab. Today on the bench we have a very unique amplifier project. This is a Fisher X-100 integrated amp. Customer brought it to me, said it was playing fine, all of a sudden, boop, it went out. You put in a fuse, it immediately blew it. We looked over the amp and unfortunately the power transformer is bad. High voltage secondary is shorted. So I tried to cross-reference something and there's nothing out there. I looked at forums and guys are all complaining that you gotta pull this thing out and have it rewound, which is very costly, and these days I don't even know where I'd send it. So I talked to the customer. I said, well, why can't we just put it in a standard Hammond replacement? And he said that's because this is in a console and the amp slides in from the front. So this dimension is critical. I can't find anything that matches up with the dimensions of this original power transformer for the Fisher. So after more conversation, we agreed that we're going to remove this transformer, install an octo plug, and remotely mount a Hammond transformer. So this is the model 273BX. It's 700 volts, center tap at 200 mils. It's 5 volts at 3 amps and 6 volt at 5, which exceeds the rating amperage wise of the original, but the high voltage is correct. So it's going to be mounted on a wood base and he's going to set it in the console. There's a shelf underneath the amp that's not being used. So it'll slide in there. We'll simply extend these wires, install an octo plug, remove the transformer, and in the middle I'll install a standard octo socket like you'd see for a tube. So he can simply plug in. And then you wonder, how will he get the AC to the new transformer? Well, guess what? There's two switched outlets on the back of the amplifier. So when you turn on the volume, not only did it turn on the original transformer, but it also turned on those rear sockets. So I'm just going to simply put an AC cord on the primary, plug it in the rear, so when you turn it. Well, here is the original transformer still in place. If you put the Hammond next to it, you see it's at least a ½ inch higher, and there's absolutely no way that this amp could slide back in the console. So the plan, remove this transformer and of course the wiring, and in the center where this transformer sits, I'm going to mount the octal tube socket and simply take the wiring and swing them up to the new socket. Then look around the back. There are the two switched outlets. So I'll simply have an AC plug that goes on the transformer, pops in there. The nice thing about this little update is it's fully reversible. So if somebody were to get this in the future and say, hey, I've got the original power transformer, they can mount it back up, remove that tube socket, you'd never know it was there. I think it's going to be a pretty nice little update. Here's the bottom side of the amplifier. You see here we have our cabling coming out from the power transformer, high voltage leads, 5 volt winding, and I think these are the 6s right here with the balancing resistors. So it should be a piece of cake. There's plenty of room and lots of clearance. Obviously we have other tube sockets and there's no issue there. So let's get the power transformer removed. I'm going to simply cut these wires back so I know where they went. Make the process easy. Alright, transformer is removed. This hole is where the original wiring went through. I'm going to simply take a Greenlee 1 1/8 inch punch and open that up for the tube socket. There we go. There's our hole for the tube socket. I've got this old vintage cinch, which is very heavy duty. Drop right in there nicely. Get it wired up. There is our power receptacle installed. Swing around the back. There's the back side. So this socket came out of a piece of military test equipment, so it had built-in nut plates for 440 screws. So we're getting close. I just need to wire up for the primary, but there's a few things I noted when I was taking the wires off from the old transformer. Number one, on top of the chassis, I could see that the transformer had either been moved or replaced. You could see witness marks where the original was. And when I was down here taking the wire off the sockets, they were just pushed through like you would see on a Fender amp. Then I look over here. This is one of the black primaries that went to the original transformer. Look at there. It was never even soldered in. So I believe this is on its second transformer. Now it's on its third. Wiring is complete. The AC switch on the back of the volume control turns on and off these outlets direct through the fuse. So that will supply the primary power to the transformer. Secondaries come in here. Pins 1 and 2 are the 6 volt. 3 is going to be ground. 4 and 5 are the 5 volt. 6, 7 are the high voltage. And 8 is also ground for the center tap of the high voltage. It's time to get the pigtail on the transformer. Alright, we're getting close. I got the pigtails on the power transformer. It's going to be about 15 inches. I added a green runner to the case of the transformer, which should go to chassis common. And this is our 2-prong cord that will plug in to one of those accessory sockets. This is my octo plug. It's going to pop right in there with the back shield. Time to get it wired up. Alright, mission complete. Just need to slide the back shell on. I'm going to buzz out the transformer by itself since I can simply plug it in. Then we'll hook up to the amp and see if things light up. Okay, I showed you guys the pin out. Pins 1 and 2 is 6 volts. So I got this on my super sensitive variac. You see that winding is a 6 volt winding. And I'm going to work my way around the connector, make sure all the voltages read correctly before I hook up to that amp. So everything checks out. As you recall, I had a ground runner go into the case of the transformer, and that is on pin 3 of this connector. The amp did not utilize a center tap on the 6.3 volt AC line. They had some balancing resistors. So the center tap is in the heat shrinking of the wire harness. Well, now I've got the octo plug plugged into the chassis and the AC cord plugged into one of the accessory outlets. So what we're going to do is bring the variac up just a little bit just to verify we don't see any current. I'm going to turn on the power switch. There it is. I'm monitoring one of the high voltage leads going to the 5AR4 rectifier. I do not have the tube installed. Just want to make sure the voltage is there and that we're not pulling excessive current. Once again, I'm going to check all the pins, make sure voltages are where they should be. Voltages look good. The next thing, just make sure we have bond to the chassis and transformer. Excellent. Let's fire it up and see those tubes glow. So I'm injecting about 115 volts right now. See, we got filaments on the EL84s and on the preamp tubes. So the next step is get the rectifier in, hook up some speakers, and see how the amp sounds. So I installed some 10 ohm resistors on the left-right channel out. Next I'm going to bring up the amp and check the bias voltage. According to the manual, it should be around 40 volts on the cathode of the output tubes. So I have the amp on a variac, creeping up on it, because this is the first time that high voltage is being applied using the new transformer. And of course you're not going to hear any sound because I'm into dummy loads. Here comes the voltage on the cathode. So we're looking for somewhere around 40 volts. And that's supposed to represent the proper operating current for all 4 of the output tubes. So I'm at 110 volts input right now. You see we're hovering around 32 volts. So there is 120 on my variac. We're around 38 volts. I'm calling that good. Alright, I've got the amp powered up, CD player hooked up. Have to put on this non-copyright music. Alright, I don't want to blow my whole video because of that. So here we go. Volume all the way down, as quiet as can be. Remote transformer modification. It's a huge success. I think the owner is going to be super happy to be able to listen to his Fisher again.